My dear brothers and sisters, let us examine, there are some areas through which we get inner wounds. And the main area that where we get inner wounds are because we did not receive what we are supposed to get from others. And it can create inner wound. We did not receive in time what we are supposed to be getting it from others and our atmosphere, our family, our society, our community. We did not get it in time when we are supposed to get it. And therefore it has cultivated a kind of inner wound. For example, from family, if you take something about family, when you are born, there are people who did not get the love of their father. There are people who did not get the love of their mother. There are people who, as soon as they were born, the mother is dead or father died. There are people who, after their birth, their parents may be separated. Therefore, they did not get the love of their father and love of their mother. The absence of the love of the mother and father, it can create inner wound in us. It can create insecurity in us. It can affect us adversely in many ways. Lack of security, lack of safety, and so many other inner wounds can be cultivated. It can start in us because of these, what is lacking when we were born and after in our childhood days. So let us examine our conscience. If any one of you are going through or have gone through such kinds of experiences from your childhood, where you did not get the love of your father or mother, maybe your mother after your birth went abroad for work and you were taken care only by your father, and father was not an expert in taking care of a baby, or maybe you were brought up by someone else, not your mother or not your father. So these can affect the babies and their health, mental health. It can affect the mental health of the baby. Let us pray in a special way. If any one of you have gone through such kinds of experiences where you lacked the love of the father or mother, only Lord can substitute it. Only Lord can heal it. Only Lord can fill it. We will be feeling some emptiness of the love of the father, love of the mother. We will be thirsting for a love of the mother, a love of the father, and which only God can fill it. Sometimes, since we are lacking this love, we search this love in wrong places because we did not get it, and therefore we are searching for it in the wrong places, which will lead them to falling into wrong relationships. There are so many people who are falling into wrong relationship and they are expecting the love of the father or love of the mother, but these thirst can be misused by others. The others can misunderstand this love, and then they will be misused by this. So there are so many examples like this. Therefore, let's examine our conscience and see, did we lose something which we are supposed to be getting from our family, but we did not get in time, and therefore it has affected our mental health, emotional health? If so, the Lord, He is going to heal you. Only Lord can heal you. Let's examine our conscience and see if there is something like this. And also, maybe when you are born, after your birth, not only about the lack of love of the parents and mother or father, even not only absence of them, but also sometimes domestic violence. From your childhood onwards, you can see parents are shouting and attacking each other, hurting each other, screaming, yelling at each other, and you are brought up in such a noisy atmosphere. Therefore, even now, though you are grown up, even for a small noise, you get frightened. For a small argument, you get scared, you hide. And for a small confusion, you are so stressed up and your heartbeat increases. And some people even cultivate kind of sicknesses. Because of these negative experiences, they start having some kind of sicknesses. For example, I know one boy who was suffering from asthma. And this asthma started when he was very small. And after speaking to the family, we came to know this asthma started as a diversion to escape from all what was happening in the family. When father and mother shout at each other, he used to get scared and he used to scream, he used to cry. and he used to do many things to stop them from fighting with each other, but they never bothered about him. And one day he could not control himself. He became breathless, and because he was crying so much. When he became breathless, parents stopped fighting and they started taking care of the child. And from that day, he started to think, if something happens to me, they will stop fighting. And therefore, he started pretending. Every time when the parents started shouting, an argument started, then he started pretending as if he's having breathlessness. And slowly, it became like an asthma. And it started affecting him, really affecting, no more pretension, but it is started affecting him. But the moment, and after them, later, these parents started loving each other. They started forgiving. They stopped fighting with each other in front of the child. And then he slowly got healed. My dear brothers and sisters, in many ways, these kinds of domestic violence can affect the children. Children can become restless. Children become restless. If you see, sometimes when I say these examples, don't generalize these. Just because somebody has asthma doesn't mean the parents were fighting. But this was only one example of a person, but it need not be the same for everyone. But it is only for us to examine our conscience and see whether our sickness has got any connection with our past wounds. Is there any connection? It is for us to examine our conscience and see.